What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. As we continue on with our Indie Comics weekend, we are jumping into Radiant Black issue number 9. Now that the chaos has subsided, Marshall has returned home. Not really sure what to make of everything that has transpired, Nathan finds himself still in the hospital and he is still in a coma. As we set the events aside, everything that happened with 001 and the other Radiants that showed up to battle him. Now Marshall is focused on his friend. He is focused on hoping that Nathan may come back. And throughout issue number 9, we are going to see a relatively big time jump, because this specific issue is going to span almost a year, but it really is laying the groundwork for what is yet to come when it comes to existence. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up 2 days since the events with 001. And Marshall is going about his day-to-day. He's waking up, he's taking a shower, he's smoking a joint or cigarette, can't really tell which it is, having a bowl of cereal, having the neighbor kids, really make fun of him as he makes fun of them back. This is his routine. This is what he does day in and day out. When he is not Radiant Black, this is his mundane life. Heading into work, he overhears some individuals on a podcast talking about Radiant Black. A group of individuals that go by the name of Circle Guy News. News that is mostly focused around Radiant Black. About what he is, about what he does, what he wants, and where he comes from. Most of this is all speculation. But one thing is for sure, ever since the events in Japan with the giant explosion, things have changed forever. That is what takes us to Gold Cross Hospital. This is where Nathan is being kept, where he is being cared for while he is in his coma. And Marshall comes here every single day. He talks to him, lets him know what is going on in the world, what is going on in his life, what is going on at work, so on and so forth. Just hoping that maybe one day he'll wake up. Maybe some of this is getting through to him. Then we jump over to day 4. The same routine. Waking up, taking a shower, having a smoke, making fun of the neighborhood kids as they make fun of him. Going to work, going to see Nathan. This is Marshall's life. This is his day-to-day. But even with his friend in the hospital, he is still Radiant Black. That is what jumps us over to day 8. He goes to talk to the cops that know about Radiant Black. Tries to say maybe they can work together. That maybe he can get some help with his PR problems, while also helping them get promoted. The only issue is these cops, they have no interest in Marshall. In fact, they let him know that when Nathan wakes up, go ahead, let us know when that happens. And so Marshall goes out and he tries to do his own thing. Day 16, he is trying to let everyone know that he is sorry for the things that he has done wrong, but also tries to remind them that he did save the entire planet with putting up this banner over the highway when it is snowing, when the traction on the vehicles is very bad. This causes a 10-car pileup because people on the road get distracted by this giant banner created by Radiant Black. This only gives those podcasters more ammunition to say that Radiant Black is a bad guy. Picking us up with day 32, this is when Satomi walks through the door. Satomi being Radiant Red. It has been 1 month since they last seen each other, but really, we can see that the guilt has been building up on her. Everything that she did with Nathan being in the hospital, being in a coma, she came to talk to Marshall to try and have a conversation, but truth is, Marshall doesn't want to talk to her. In fact, he said that things were fine for now, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have intentions of doing her harm. And while she did come here to say sorry, Marshall lets her know that if you want to say sorry, you need to go tell it to Nathan. And so Marshall takes her over to the hospital, takes her to see Nathan while he is in his coma. That is what takes us to day 65. we have a villain by the name of Doppler, having some very advanced technology. That is what takes us to day 65. A villain by the name of Doppler, having some very powerful technology. Not really sure where he got this tech. This is when Radiant Black comes into play, knocking this guy for a freaking loop, telling the news that if there are any villains, any criminals, he is going to take care of them. But not even a day later, that is where we see Doppler yet again stealing some more stuff. And so the days pass by. Day 90, day 100, day 120. The villains are popping up more frequently, having some very unique technology. Radiant Black going out there and taking these guys down, while also still doing his day-to-day on day 160. This is when he arrives at Gold Cross Hospital. Arriving here, this is where he runs into one of Nathan's exes, a woman by the name of JJ. The two of them, they go sit down, they have some lunch, and they catch up. And in the midst of this conversation, this is where the idea hits Marshall, a kind of fan club, if you will, because Nathan has been having an image problem. Radiant Black has not been seen as the hero. In fact, many question if he might be a villain in disguise. And so while the two of them, they finish up their conversation, that is what takes us to day 175, with Radiant Black meeting up with the podcasters, using this as an opportunity for good publicity. And in return, these guys will get access. Obviously though, they want more than that. They want something out of this. And so they come to a compromise. Radiant Black will give them a percentage of what he makes. If them working together becomes profitable, these guys will also make money. And so they agree to it. They join forces, and this will help with Radiant Black getting some more popularity and good positivity. That is what takes us to day 224. Marshall sitting down writing in the book. This book belonging to Nathan. What he is doing is trying to finish Nathan's story as he sits and writes this story, and that is when Nathan shows up, appearing to be nothing more than a ghost. Marshall knows that he is dreaming, and though he wishes this was not a dream, he gets to talk to his friend at least just for a moment. The day's moving on. They're saying that it is time. Day 240. Marshall isn't doing his daily routine. Instead, we find him inside of his store in a drunken stupor, because after getting the news that it is time, he doesn't want to accept it. He doesn't want to take this as fact. With Nathan showing up again, the two of them having a little conversation. As they go for a walk, they talk like old friends, and eventually this walk leads him to Gold Cross. All of Nathan's friends and family is here because the time has come to take him off of life support. As they get ready to do so, this is when he thinks about it. This is when he realizes. Checking something on his phone, he screams at the doctor to wait, saying that he can save Nathan's life. Obviously, Nathan's parents, they are very hurt. This is a very hard time for them. They just want Marshall to let him go, because this is hard for everybody, and the more that Marshall tries to hold on to Nathan, the harder this is for everybody around them. With Marshall running out of the room, going and screaming into the air, Marshall knows that Nathan is alive, screaming at the existence, at whatever gave him his power, whatever is inside the suit of Radiant Black. Because back when he had that dream, the one where he was finishing the book for Nathan, the story that he was writing, Nathan had already wrote down. He wrote it back in December, while Marshall had never read it. He wonders how the heck did he dream it word for word if he had never simply read it. He knows that whatever the power is inside of Radiant Black can hear him. If there is a chance to save Nathan's life, he wants to do it right now. but the existence does not show itself, and so he goes to more drastic measures, going to those train tracks where he first found out about the little black hole that popped up here, where Radiant Black first came to be when it first bonded with Nathan. That whoever that is on the other side doesn't want to talk to him, he is going to make them talk to him. He knows that they need Marshall, because if somebody else finds the Radiant Black, they may not be as good-hearted. They may use it for evil, with Marshall demanding answers. He knows that Nathan is in there with him, with whoever these higher beings are, wherever this technology came from. We saw 001 sucked into the chest of Radiant Black. It is not inconceivable to believe that maybe Nathan's consciousness is stuck in there with them. And while the voice lets Marshall know that it is possible to save Nathan's life, but he will not succeed at doing so, going on to say that there is only truth in existence. To attempt this will come at a great cost, asking if he is prepared to lose everything. Marshall not skipping a beat, saying let's go. We see Marshall disappear, wiped away from those train tracks. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. With this issue not really being as action-packed as the last few issues have been, this is really diving us into the story. We are seeing how much Marshall is truly affected by his best friend being in a coma. But now, we are starting to really span out, and we are gonna find out what existence is, where they are, where they come from, and what all of this means. But the possibility of saving Nathan's life, it is still out there. And Marshall is going to stop at nothing to ensure that his friend can return. What this means for him holding on to Radiant Black, we don't know yet. But what we have seen over the course of almost a year is that villains are popping up with the technology that 001 had brought from wherever he came from. That locker full of weapons, more than likely sold off to the highest bidder. We are now seeing them in full effect around the country. But this is just the beginning. The Great War is on the horizon. 001 may be gone temporarily, but that does not mean he will not return. There is a galactic war happening amongst the stars, one that we really aren't privy to yet. We have only seen glimpses of this war. We don't know what it means, we don't know which side is who on. But what we do know is that war will inevitably have something to do with all of the Radiants that are on Earth. It is just a matter of time before our Radiants find their way out into space to meet the makers of the Radiants, and we are gonna see the full potential of what they are capable of. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with Radiant Black, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with this story. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are also getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do any of that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.